How's everybody doing? It's a little windy out, and I was gonna put in my new microphone, but apparently I may not be doing it right, so Josh will have to look at it. But anyway, I am out. Now, the reason I came out to start out with kind of in our little thing with the beautiful hold it, sorry. Beautiful lake there. Isn't that beautiful? The skies are coming. So I don't know how long we're going to last before it's going to rain. It's raining now. It didn't last very long. I'll go in the middle. Hopefully because I can't go out in this. I should have realized it was going to rain the minute I came out here. But anyway, I thought I'd test it out here. You guys can see the clarity on these new phones. And the last time we were out here, it was cutting out with the old service, and we got full bars out here. Yay! So I thought this will be our first test. I didn't intend to come out in the rain, but I guess that's what I was doing. I'm under a little shelter. Isn't that pretty, though? You get to see the beautiful rain with the fountain going. Not getting wet. I go home now, I'm going to get drenched. Beautiful. But anyway, the clarity is so awesome on the cameras, on this camera. And the fact that I'm almost at full bars. Hopefully the reception is good. I'll have to figure out about the microphone. A little sun shower, right? I'll have to figure out about the microphone, but the clarity is so much better. My phone is not dying like it was before. Hopefully I stay live, but I'm telling you, the clarity is just super duper. I noticed that probably within the first little bit. I noticed that I thought the clarity in this is just really good. So I was thankful to see that. Well, that was a quick little sun shower, right? A little bit breezy, I think. I don't know. Might be in for it. It's a little windy. Oh my goodness. I didn't expect that. I can see it like over there. I should have known when I came out. It was possibly going to rain. But anyway, I thought we would test it out. So I've got full bars of service, which was my thing. And it's awesome. That's really good. So thumbs up for the full bars of service. And thumbs up for clarity, I can tell you that. So just so everybody knows, whoops, I want to grab it. Hold on a second. There they go. Oh, the whole thing fell apart. I tried to hook it up, but I can't hook it up to this phone. Up close and personal, right? So we were able to thankfully trade in our phones with Spectrum for about the same price that we're paying per month with Cricut. So we had to finance our phones and everything, but the total financing and what we were paying for internet and phone came to about the same price as, there's a beautiful rainbow, guys. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get it. Hold on. There is an absolutely beautiful rainbow that came up. Let me see if I can get it. Look at that. See that rainbow? Almost looks like there's a double rainbow, I think. Do you see that? And it's really pretty. It's really cool. So, hi Sandy. It's a little windy because I didn't expect a rainstorm / sunstorm slash whatever it was, but it is what it is. But hi Joe, how are you? But I don't know if you all can tell, the clarity is a lot better. I don't know how I sound. I brought my microphone out here, but it's not hooking up correctly. I should have Josh look at it. So I don't know if the sound sounds better. I can tell you, I think the camera, the photo quality, the videography is very clear compared to the other phones. And like I said, the reason why I picked where I'm standing now is because before, when I've done it here, we've had issues. We've had it kind of, kind of blurry, and people have had trouble hearing me. We've gone in and out. I don't think, look at that. I don't think any of that is happening now. So I think this was a win. I can tell you, like, the last couple days of having my old phone, which went off to the mail today to be traded in, excuse me, it was starting to have issues. I mean, it was like, it was having trouble. The bottom part of it where it had an issue, that was starting to have some difficulties. I think it was bringing across of it. The charge, hi Rudy, the charge was acting up. And so I think I was having a lot of difficulties with my phone that it did not like. And again, just, to be at, I think there was 2 or 3 bars on the phone, and you guys still had clear service, clear picture. That's really good. I'm so glad. Like I said, we really debated, and the fact that we were able to pretty much keep the same price and that was a big thing for us, is that, whatever we got, we were able to keep the same price for our phone and what we were paying for internet. And that's about what it is. It's about $20 more a month, but listen, it's worth it to, I love it. I love it, Joy. It's worth it to have you guys have a clear reception and have a better working phone. It's worth it. We were like, we can't, get everybody new phones for what we were going to pay. So it's definitely worth it. But we didn't pay out much, and we're not having to, it's not like we're having to pay a huge phone bill. And Spectrum, out of all the ones we looked at, was the closest to what we were currently paying for internet and phone. And I did talk to the people the other day, and they told me the price, and this is what your bill will be. I have to give them credit, because except for like a promotional or like a prorated bill because of the way they had to do our phones, they were pretty much on point of exactly what our phone bill was going to be a month. So I have to give Spectrum that too. So if you guys are looking for phones and you have Spectrum, it's something to consider. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's just picking up like the sky in a way that other phone was just not picking up. Just so clear. You imagine what the fall leaves are going to be like this year? Oh my goodness, it's going to be gorgeous. I don't know if you can see over there. I'll try to zoom in. Do you not see what's happening? Look, they're starting to just a little bit. And even zooming in, look at the clarity of it. Even zooming in, that was never the clear on my own phone. Do you not see what's there? And like right, I don't know if you can see, let me see if I can get it. Like right there, that tree, there's a little bit of changing happening right there. Just right there, if you look. I don't know if I can point to it. That tree, kind of like right there. You can see it's got a little bit of reddish tinge to it. Just a little bit. That is so cool. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So now we'll see if it'll stop raining. for less than 5 seconds, right? So anyway, my hair's a little windblown. Oh, you can see let me see if I can get it. Hold on a second. Do you not see? There's the rainbow. There's the rainbow. There's the show where the dark clouds are going, but there's the rainbow. Yes, it is. So anyway, it was worth coming out. And we got this. Wait, I'm not going to make anybody. I'll have to show you one time that we're in the house. I hit something I wasn't supposed to. I'll have to show you when I get in the house, my case. We have what I was talking about, that MagSafe case. We got this, and it just snaps right on the back. So I've got a little handle for my phone so I can hold it steadier when I don't want to have a gimbal and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if y'all can tell that, but well, this is the first stop to see how it does outside of because before it was acting up out here. I love the picture. I love the fact that I'm not kind of having reception issues. It's a win. The next test will be going to church, because sometimes we have problems going to church. We'll see how that ride goes. So anyway, on Friday, we have a live coming up. It's at 6:45 at night. Or no, sorry, excuse me, 7. I make it 7:30. I think I made it 7 o'clock. Anyway, there's a live coming out, and it's called The Quilters. And there was this amazing story that I saw on Netflix that I wanted to share with y'all. And I'm not going to spill the beans. But if you guys have Netflix and you can go in and watch something called The Quilters, just don't spill the beans. You guys can have an idea of what we're going to talk about. But I found this, and I thought I got to do a live on this. So we're going to do a live about the quilters. There's nothing I can do about my hair other than I've got no hair. The quilters, we're going to do that on Friday, and then we'll go over, after we get done with the live with Blessed to Crochet, we'll go over to Blessings Through Connection, and we'll have some more connection over there. I just wasn't graced with hair. I got baby fine hair. So anyway, thank you all. If you've lasted through the iPhone 11 for all this time, I appreciate it. But it was a have to. We were looking either we were going to have to stay with Spectre or Cricut, or go ahead and upgrade the phones and do that one way or another. And mine was going to have to start first. And I've been going back between 3 or 4 bars, but I still have reception. So, hi, Real Outdoor Living. We're testing out my new phone. So, anyway, Josh wanted me to get like the 16 Pro or something. And I said, you know what? I said, that was like $5 more a month. I said, no. I said, we're just going to be thankful that the iPhone 11 has lasted us. Then we're just going to be happy with this. And I am so happy. Yeah, it just got done raining here too. Actually, when I get done with this, I'm going to my house, and I'm going to get ready for bed and go to bed. Last night there was a now my mom said that she heard it raining. I didn't really hear it raining. I just heard it making a lot of noise. It was making a lot of noise. Thunder and lightning and so forth. And then I went to sleep, and then Josh woke up, and he wears a CPAP machine. And so he got up in the middle of the night, and his CPAP machine slipped, and then he started snoring. Hi, Jeanette. And he started snoring, and I'm like, gravy. So I'm like, when he starts snoring, there's just no sleeping. And I was like, he was sleeping so soundly. And I hated to wake him, so I went through to the couch and slept there. And then it was like 9:30, and I'm like, why didn't you come through and let me come to bed? He goes, I didn't want to wake you up. I'm like, you should have, 2 hours before. So, yes, I'm located in Mansfield, Ohio. So I'm outside near a place where I live. So, yeah, it's a 16. It's a regular iPhone 16. Wait, no, that's not what I want. And That's just the back camera. And we've been out here for like 5 minutes. No, we've been out here for like 16 and it's only gone down like 4% in power. My other camera would have been down like 20-30% power wise. But I just think that the video quality of it is just telling you, it's really it's a step above where I was before. So, like I said, if it hadn't been for the fact that my camera battery was just going and I was having that problem on the bottom of my camera, those two things, I would have stayed with my phone for as long as I could have. But those two were becoming really big issues. And we all were kind of having issues. We've had iPhones before and we've held up really, really well. But when we got those phones, I got them through someplace we would never get them before, and they all had issues. So I am not going to again. I don't have to worry about that for a while now. So at least, like I said, my biggest fear was we're going to get the bill from Spectrum, and it's going to be like $50, $60 more than they promised, and it's actually right on target. Right what they said it was going to be. With a little proration with Josh's and my phone because of the way they had to do it. But it's right on target. And so I'm very, very thankful for that. But we will see how our trip to church does. And maybe we'll go down to the Amish country because we've had problems when we've gone down into the Amish country, getting reception and everything. So we'll do some test out. And then there's a lovely place called Mount Gee's. It's like the highest point from where we live, and it's gorgeous in the fall. Oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. That's another place I want to test. So far, I'm pretty happy with Spectrum, actually. I'm really happy with them. I'm happy with, and it's so nice because when I call Spectrum, I talk to people that are, they'll tell you exactly where they live, New York, whatever it is. But when you call Cricket, you're not necessarily talking to people within the country. So anyway, but I am tired because he woke up and then I just went outside. Of course, you don't sleep well when you are sleeping on the couch. But I didn't want to wake him up. He was sleeping so soundly. So I didn't want to wake him up. But anyway, I would have loved to have been able to just buy the phones outright, but we couldn't do that. We had to finance them. What I like about it is that we can pay a little bit in to the phones every month. You know what I mean? Like if we want to pay an extra 10 on my mom's phone or something like that. And then once we pay the phones off, and we of course get the promotional trade-in value on them, then we don't have the payment of that part of it anymore, and our phone bill will actually be cheaper. So, and what I liked about, one thing, if you are going with Spectrum, just a little hint, first of all, the gentleman said there was a couple inconsistencies. One was that he sent us the router, and he said, you need this router for the phones. And I said, there won't be an extra cost. He goes, no, but there is. So if you have Spectrum and you use their router, we will put the router we got from Amazon in our link tree with our affiliate links. You guys can go check that out. That's an excellent router. And he said, if you hook that router up, when we called it back again, if you hook the router up, you're going to be charged $10 a month. Well, I don't want to pay $10 a month. So that was the first thing that he was inconsistent about. So the router that they sent is going back to the Spectrum store. It's not activated yet, so we won't be paying the $10. And then another thing too, we were going to do like their $40 plan a month for Josh and mine's line. My mom's line is free for a year. And it's still unlimited it's unlimited all the way around. But it meant that Josh and I could trade in our phones anytime we wanted to trade in and get new phones. But the thing is that was $40 a month. And the lady said, here, I got a little trick for you. go ahead, and she said, as long as you sign up for the $40 a month plan, like 2 or 3 months, or like a month or two before you're going to turn in your phones and get new ones, then you can do that. You can upgrade to the $40 plan for like a month or two, and then trade in your phones, and then go back to the $30 a month plan, which is like a little less on the gigs, and we don't get international calling. But I don't have any look-see to the future to go international yet. So that was one thing that she said, I can save you that. She said, just when you're ready to trade in your phones next, just call. And she said, you can upgrade to the $40 a month plan. And she said, for, a month or two, and then place the order, and then drop back down to the $30 a month plan. And then the only thing we did was we got protection on my phone, because I tend to drop it. But now that I got that little fancy thing on the back, the ring that just magnetically sticks to the back of my case, I'm going to have less habit of doing that. Like, I've really watched myself when I'm walking with my phone to have this thing on the back, and I hold on to my phone, but then I hook my finger through the phone, so I've got some extra protection, because I can very easily drop my phone. Something I just have a habit of doing because of the carpal tunnel. So we got protection on both Josh and my phone, but that was $5 a month. I mean, better than having to just go out and buy a new phone, right? They're brand new. I don't want anything to happen to them. So anyway, there's my story, but don't forget to motivate us before you go. Well, I hope I'm going to motivate you on Friday, because the story that I'm doing on Friday, I really hope that, even though I'm going to give you just a little bit of a hint of it, even though they put themselves in the situation, they are still doing good in their situation, right? And sometimes we have to look and say, yeah, we put ourselves there, or we're going through the circumstances and the situation, right? But how can we do something good in the midst of difficult situations? So I'm really looking forward to doing about the quilters on Friday. And I did another baby AI video, but I can't finish it yet because I have to have $10. I found the software that I like using for it. I've done the other two on there, but I have to pay a subscription of $10 a month to continue, which I'm going to, because I really enjoy doing those. What I have liked doing is going back to some of our old stuff and finding like nuggets of things and making the baby IA or AI, and then being able to tag that video so you guys can go back and watch it. But I'm really enjoying them. I just have to go through and do the $10 subscription a month so I can continue doing them, because you guys have really liked them. We did one about the shine together, and then we did one with Christina, and you guys are gonna like the outfit that I used in this thumbnail. I was able to make the baby of me out. Oh, it's so cute with them pants. I went to church, right, and I had these pants. They're like 70s pants, but they've got orange and turquoise, and they're just fun pants. And the Bible teacher, our Bible teacher, was sitting there, and she said, she was using me as an example, and she goes, well, if Mary was going to a local bar, and I said, yeah, I said to my mom, these pants were going to get me in trouble. But everybody complimented me on my pants. They said, I love them pants. I said, they're just fun, but I thought, I've got to make, and the baby AI thing came out so cute with them pants. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. But I'm going back through, and I'm finding, like, going back through all our lives and videos and all that kind of stuff, and finding little clippets. And then what I can do too is, there's times my mother and I have done interviews together. There's times Christina and I have done interviews, and I can like do a short with, making me and then making Christina and putting it together and editing it. So it's going to be a lot of fun, but I have to do that. But I got another one in the pike. I think they're just too funny. I think when it comes to AI, you need to be responsible with it, and you need to make sure people know that you're using it. I think people that don't inform people that you're using it. I think it can be done in fun and as a learning tool, because sometimes those little AI clips that are going out with the baby AI things, they're going not too much right now, but they attract people's attention because they're a little different. And then they go, there's a video attached to this. Oh, maybe I'll go watch the video. And so it kind of trickles that way. So anyway, but I'm looking forward to Friday because I'm hoping you guys will really sink into that. And, and find it inspiring. But I'm tired. I said to Josh, I am tired. I haven't done a lot today. And then, of course, yesterday, you don't think changing your phones were going to be a pain in the neck, but they were a little overwhelming because we had to go back and undo all their stuff on our phones and erase this and make sure this was in there. And it was like, we have a military flag here that we found on the floor when we moved in. I love to find it belongs. We put it up off the ground. Of course, that's awesome. Those old flags are so precious. And we used to have, when we used to live in Cincinnati, we used to have, I think it was, where was it? It was like a man there that knew how to appropriately dispose of the flags, and he was able to dispose of them if anybody had, a military flag. But I think we can, great way to honor an old flag. You know what I mean? That's what we need to do, right? So, guys, the sun's coming out. I came out here and I was like, oh, I don't know about this. There's a rainbow in the sky. I can tell you, I was sitting there thinking to myself, I hope people don't think that, I wasn't sure everybody was going to handle getting a new phone. Because I was like, but I was like, people can think what they want, but we had to get them. The other phones were on their way out, and they knew it too. Don't think they're listening, guys. They're listening. They knew they were on the way out. But just, sometimes, I don't know. I've kind of gotten over the discouragement part. I've gone through a little bout of discouragement. I got to get back into doing the devotions and all that kind of stuff. I kind of got in a funk for a little bit. But I'm coming out of it because I'm sitting there going, you know what? I am going to keep pressing forward. The road isn't always easy, but you have to keep pressing forward. And I'm wearing, I don't know if you can see this. Can you see? I'm wearing my snowman because I want it to be fall in the winter. Yep, there's always going to be somebody saying something, or jealous or something like that. And I'm like, I can't help it. We really, when we got our phones, guys, we shopped around because I'm like, I've got to find the best deal. And I knew what budget I was on. And I knew what I needed to stay on in order to be able to pay all the bills. So shop around for your phones. Don't just settle in one place. And if you have whatever phone you have, make it work. I made it work for, oh my goodness, what? Almost, we started doing stuff in January and it's now August. So almost a year and 8 months. And I'd have stayed with that phone if it hadn't been giving me so many issues. And I think that crock on the bottom really was playing havoc with it. I really do. But it just shows you all, you have an iPhone 11 or an iPhone 10 or an iPhone 5, whatever you have, if you have a story to tell everybody, tell it. Get on. Show yourself. Show up for you. That's one of the shorts I did for the baby AI, as I said, back into one that we talked about, showing on up. Show up for yourself. Don't worry if anybody else is going to show up for you. If you don't show up for yourself, you're not going to show up for anybody else. And I've got the yarn working to make sure it comes to you, Jeanette. I promise. I just have to pick it out this week because I want to keep a little bit of it. If you don't show up for you, then who are you going to show up for? If nobody came into this live today, I showed up for myself. You guys coming in to support this channel and me and my mom and our family means the world. That just means we care. That's why YouTube is different from anything else. You're not building an audience, you're building a community. And it's been a little bit hard over the past, I guess, week when the numbers have been going, let them go, let them do all that. I know we have a channel, an amazing channel we're growing of community, and people are connecting with each other. People are loving what we're doing over at Blessings Through Connection. They're loving it. People are starting to, it took a while, and they're not full by any stretch of the means, but those posts that we put up with the connection, the daily connection hub on both channels, people are starting to use those now. I just saw a notification come on my phone and it said, let's connect. People are starting to use those. It'll take a while. Just because we have a channel of 18 something on this channel, you would think, oh, well, your other channel should be pretty fast to grow. No, it's not, and it's okay. It will take as long as it needs to take. But don't allow your story to be hidden. Don't beat yourself up for the past. And the things that you did wrong in the past, it's done. You can't do anything about it. You have to continue to move forward. And you can't allow anything to stop you. Now, those with chronic pain, not that you get a slide, you don't get a slide. But you have to put self-care in the front of your mind. For instance, I know I'm tired. I'm hurting and I'm tired. I know that. I love our couch, but it is not comfortable to sleep on. And my husband was furious. He was like, and why didn't you just wake me up? I was like, I could have said the same thing. Why didn't you come through? Live for the future, not for the past. Today is gone. Wake up tomorrow and be happy. Absolutely. Because we can't beat ourselves up for the past. It's too hard. It's too easy to sit there and say, yeah, I did this and I did this. So what? There's things I've done. Maybe the deer will come out in a little bit. You never know. Sometimes they'll pop out on there. Oh, there's more trees turning on us. Sorry, squirrel moment. When I see fall leaves, guys, I'm done. Anyway, there's no sense to beat yourself up for the past. Learn from it. Move forward. Tell your story. We all have stories to tell. I have some sad news. I was sad. They canceled the dang on balloon ride. Oh, I was so mad. I went on because Christina wasn't sure if she would come or not. And so I went on and said, Josh, go look at it. And he goes, you're not going to believe it. They canceled it. Oh, I was so mad. It wasn't a balloon ride, but it was a balloon and laser show. I don't know if the people hosting it, the place they were given, was they canceled it, or whether the people that were running it canceled it because they weren't having enough tickets. I don't know, but they canceled it. So we won't be going to the balloon ride or the balloon festival on Saturday. Friday, I may try to go to the Blueberry Festival with a friend of mine. I have to reach out. I forgot about that. I'll have to see about that. But we won't be able to go to the Balloon Festival. But on Saturday, I'm going to be on Kendra Kay's channel, Kendra All Day channel. We're working that out. Echo from Kaleidoscope of Happiness, she wants me on in September. And then, if you have a dog, like our dog. Now that I told you my sad news, I'll tell you about Mocha. If you have a dog like our dog, who is a little bit reactive, doesn't handle dog parks well, and we live in an apartment, of course, so we're not able to have backyards, fenced-in backyards. I wish they would have put literally a fence on every, it would have made for difficult mowing, but I wish they had kind of extended the patio and literally made a fenced-in part of the patio. Anyway, that's here and there. There's a thing called Sniff Spot. And it is a place you can go to, it's an app, that you can go and find dog parks privately. Or if you don't have a pool and you want to take your dog swimming, it's called Sniff Spot. And so I looked it up, and there's a place in Bellevue that has a private backyard, and it's called Sniff Spot, and they only are going to charge $5 for an hour. Now you have to have a sniff spot. I say that 3 times fast, especially when you're tired. Sniff spot pass. But it's still, I think it's $16 a month. It's free for the pass thing. Or no, it's $16 a month. It's $5 for the pass to be able to rent the space, but this specific space. Other places charge $10. The one with the pool, like near Christina, charge like $20, what have you. But this place costs like $5, and you get to go there for an hour and let her roam free, throw balls, bring some, what is it? I can't think what it is. Like bring some, lawn chairs or whatever, and we could sit and just let her run all over the place in this fenced-in yard, which we don't have a fenced-in yard, so we can't do that, but we can rent this space. It's kind of like Airbnb for dogs. I don't know who invented that, but I wish I'd have thought of it. I've actually thought of it. I thought that is a genius idea. So it's called Sniff Spot. So again, if you live in an apartment or you have a reactive dog, even if we have dog parks around here, I would never take Mocha. Not that she would do anything. Hi, Ohio Traveler. Hi, Chris. Not that she would do anything. However, if she met a dog, I want to do it under a certain circumstance and not do it in a way that she feels uncomfortable. She doesn't handle that well because she wasn't socialized properly. So, I would never take her to a dog park. I would never put her in a dog park situation. So, I love the idea. And there's a place in Bellevue that has it. So we're going to try it out and see. I said to my mom, it was $16 a month and be able to take her for $5 an hour at this local place and let her run free like twice a month. Oh, that'd be awesome. It'd be awesome. I would do without something so that she could go run in a fenced-in yard so she could go have fun for an hour. I think that's wonderful. I love it. So anyway, I thought I'd pass that on. It's called Sniff Spot, and I think it's wonderful. You do have to have a pass, but I think it's a genius idea. An absolute genius idea. And Chris, I don't know if I'll get to you tonight, but I don't know if you want to try to go to the Blueberry Fest on Friday. But when I get done with this live, I'm going to go and get ready for bed and go to bed because I had a very, very rough sleep last night. I'm very, very tired. Because the Balloon Fest, as I was telling everybody, they canceled it. And I will actually be on a live with somebody on Saturday at some point. I have to read her email. So we'll see. But that's the scoop. Hopefully, I'm so glad for the phones. Oh, guys, that I cannot believe I have been out here this entire time. I haven't buffered once. The picture has high lady light. The picture is absolutely clear. If anybody is thinking about, upgrading their phone, they have an iPhone, go for it. The 16, I have nothing but good things to say about. But join us definitely Friday for that live. I think it'll be a very important live. I can't get over the clarity of it. It's really, isn't that pretty? And the fall leaves are changing. Can you see the little yellow over there? There's the sun. Look at that. Look at that coming through there like that. Isn't that beautiful? Jeanette, I'll see if I can reach out to a channel called, and you should probably too as well if you haven't already, Hats on a Mission. And maybe he could put the word out there too to have people come beside you and help. I'd love to help, but you know what? I've never done hats very well. I could send a couple hats. They may be a little bit on the big side, but I do one pattern and that's it. So maybe when I send yours, I'll send you a couple hats. We shall see. But anyway, yes, it is very peaceful. I was testing my new phone out because when we have come out here in the past, unfortunately, the reception has not always been good. Hi, Rudy. Has not always been good. And I've buffered and I haven't been very clear. But this time, through the entire almost 45 minutes we've been on here, this phone has acted beautifully. So I thought this was my first test. I do. I think we all have a twin someplace. And every once in a while, and they haven't come out yet, but see, every once in a while over there, I'll be sitting. Of course, it's the minute I get off live, right? And the deer will come out there. Right there. That little hole right there, they'll come out. Because there's woods back there. So they'll come out every once in a while. But I was showing people here. They're starting to turn. They are starting to turn. I've come out here and just brought my chair, turned on my music, and quietly crocheted. And it's very peaceful. So, very, very peaceful. But so far, so good. Like I said, we have some tests coming on to see how well the service is and how well the phone is. And I think so far, so good. Like I said, you all would have still dealt with me on the iPhone 11 if we couldn't have had the bill be about the same as what we were paying. Between what we were paying for the internet and the phone service before, we're paying like $20 more a month. So I called, I think it was T-Mobile. They wanted like $230 a month. I'm like, no, cannot afford that. And that was just for the phones. That wasn't even to touch on the internet. I have so many leaves all over my yard after the rain today. I was just hoping they actually get a fall this year. The foliage in the mountain is beautiful. Oh, I'm sure it is. I am looking forward to this fall with this phone. You guys, if this is the clarity I'm getting just from this, you can imagine. Down the road just a little bit, we have one tree that's turning. When you first come in, it's turning fall, so. But, guys, we can do this. Just, I'm telling you, whatever you have in your hands, use it. You don't have the newest and greatest technology, that's fine. If anything, this channel has showed you, we did it with an iPhone 11 because we focused on one thing. We focused on connection. We didn't focus on the technology we had. People were there, even with all the buffing and even with all the stuff, they were there because we were focused on connection. We were focused on building a community, not an audience. So use whatever you have. If the iPhone 11 hadn't had a crack on the bottom and the battery wasn't going on me, I would have stayed with the iPhone 11. But out of all the phones in the household, mine had to be upgraded because we were having some significant difficulties with it. But use whatever you have. If it works, it works. Focus on building a community, not an audience, and you'll never go wrong. That shows it. We just have a vision of getting to 2K. I would like to get to 2K before the end of the year. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I don't know. But I want people coming in here because they want to support. I don't want just the numbers. I want to build the community. I want people coming in because they want to build community. They want the connection. That's why I want them here. That's why I want them here for you all too, because if they're just people that are just coming in, just hitting the number, just to hit the connection button, they're not helping everybody. They're not supporting everybody. They're not being there when somebody comes in and says, you know what, I've had a really rough day and I'm not doing too good, because nobody needs to suffer in silence. Not one of us. We're all going through struggles. We're all going through difficulties. Every solitary one of us. Every day I get out of bed, I think, this is going to be a hard day. Why? Because I deal with a chronic illness, but I'm not going to let it stop me. I have to take care of myself. There are certain things I can do and not do because of it. And I'm gonna get through. And when I have to stop, I'm gonna self-care for myself. And that's what we have to do for ourselves. Nobody else is going to do that. And so tomorrow, I will look at what we have on the calendar tomorrow. Because if we don't have anything on the calendar, I know I have the thing on Friday possibly. Possibly. But we'll see what we have on the calendar. Because if we went with Mocha, we would like to go towards the evening when it's cooler. Because she is a dark dog and we don't want her to get overheated. Maybe we'll try to go tomorrow evening to see what's on the schedule. But I'm going to sign up for... I think you get a free trial. I just don't know how long the free trial is for Sniff a Spot. Seeing whether or not the deer came out. Sometimes we'll just have them walking right across our neighborhood like there's nothing tomorrow. Going to wander around. It's fun. Keep crocheting that connection. That's what it's all about. We got to keep crocheting that connection. Supporting each other. And we'll get through this thing we call life together. We certainly ain't going to do it by ourselves. I certainly don't want to do it by myself. It's awfully boring. You start doing it by yourself, it's awfully boring. Right? We have to do it together. It's so much more fun. That's for sure. But have a good night. Thank you for stopping on by. I appreciate it. So I think my new phone is a great success. And I'm thankful. I thank the Lord that I was able to work it out. And I did my research, and we checked around and made sure and got the best one. And listen, here's another thing to really say is we would not have done it if I really hadn't pushed to call Spectrum and say, hey, listen, even though the guy had to do it manually in order to figure out what it was, to figure out the pricing. But I said, I don't want to do it until you tell me what my monthly bill's going to be. Because their computer system wasn't set up to put in like this price and say this is what your bill is. So he figured it out manually. He got almost to the penny of how much it was. And it took a while. He was on the phone with me for quite a little bit. So don't be afraid to really get down with some of these big companies when you're dealing with stuff like this and say, I want a price break. I'm on a budget. I'm on a fixed income. All of us are in our family. And I have to be able to stay on this price point so that I can be able to make the switch and not all of a sudden go from paying maybe an extra $10 a month for this. Instead, I'm paying $80 a month or $60 a month for it. And so I really had to press. I went into the store. The lady was nice. She was pretty accurate too. Went in the store again to Spectrum. The guy wasn't too friendly and he wasn't too accurate. I wouldn't have given him my business for anything. But then I decided to go on the internet and order the phones or look at what the phones would be going through the internet pricing. Then I decided, well, let's go ahead and check through the actual phone service. I called the phone. I talked with them and I said, okay. And he had to be on the phone with me for quite a little bit of time. But I stuck through it. I got 4 different things. And I would have to say 3 of them were pretty much what we were going to pay. So if you're trying to decide, if you're thinking, well, I have to change phone services for one reason or another, or whatever it is, press a little bit. It's your money. If you're not happy with the service you're receiving and you want to find another service person or another carrier or whatever it may be, inquire. Don't be afraid to kind of get a little bit, to say, I'm on a fixed income and I'm on a budget. And if you give me something that's, $60 more than what I'm paying a month, it's going to be a real struggle for my family. We sometimes are not that. We just kind of go with the flow. And when they told me what my next month's bill was going to be, I first of all got I was like, that's not what he told me. And I'm thinking we shouldn't have done it. She said, wait a minute. The reason your bill's a little higher for the first month is because they had to prorate it because of the way they did your phone. But then after that, this is what your bill is going to be a month. And then he said, whenever you activate your phone, that's when your phone bill will be due. Well, it's put out on the 1st, but you have 12 days worth of grace period. I said, okay. So don't be afraid to shop around and don't be afraid to ask. Don't afraid to ask for exactly what you're going to be paying and be a little stern about it and walk away if need be. Thank you for coming on in. I appreciate it. I'm going to get some rest. I remember my uncle. I keep looking just to see if the deer pop up. I have my uncle Tom, and he was my grandfather's brother. And he was very good with, he bought a lot of cars in his life, and so he was very good with all that. And we went to pick my first car out. Actually, it was at a Nissan dealership, which eventually I was a cashier at that Nissan dealership when I was older. And so I remember going, and my uncle said, now listen, don't get too excited. Very pan-faced kind of look. And so we went into the place, and there was I had a Nissan Sentra, and it was this really pretty red color. And it had a little bit of a glittery thing to it, shiny. It was really pretty. And I fell in love with this car. It was going to be my first car. My grandparents were buying me my first car because we had an older car that was starting to give a little bit of issues, and at least we would have a brand new car that wasn't giving us problems. And I just remembered the finance guy handed over the price to my uncle, and he wrote a price back. He said, this is what we'll pay for it. And the guy said, no. And my uncle went up to leave, and I'm like, no, don't leave. I was like 18 years old. No, don't leave this. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like screaming, don't leave. I love this car. And he was fibbing, and he came back, and the guy said, wait a minute. Let's see if we can work something out. And they worked something out. We drove away with the car, but I'll never forget that. And that car lasted for 18 years. They don't make cars like that. Oh, I was so sad to see it go. Actually, that car was having, what was it? It wasn't a power steering issue. It was some kind of issue. I can't remember what it was. Josh should be able to tell me because he changed it out. I can't remember what it was, but we're axle and pin or something. I can't remember. And he just said to me, he replaced it once, and he said, the next time that thing goes in that car, the car is going in the junk heap. He said, I will never, ever, ever, ever fix that part of that car ever again. Oh my goodness. He went on about how terrible it was. I can't remember what it was. I think it was the axle and pin or something. It was something that was really giving us fits. And he said, if that goes again, car's gone. He said, I will never, ever replace it again. And he was like, I'm done. But don't be afraid to, that's kind of one thing I learned within this. I keep thinking of things in our lives where we're kind of like, what can we take from a situation or a circumstance and learn from? Well, getting these whole new phones and everything, I'm telling you, one thing I learned about was to kind of be assertive a little bit, not be afraid to say to people, listen, I'm on a fixed income. I have to really watch my budget. I want to know exactly what we're going to be paying for them. I want accurate price, break it down, let me know what it is. And kind of being a little assertive to do that. And not worrying about what anybody thinks, what anybody says. Just say, guess what? And the thing is I think you all probably would have noticed, man, that video quality is different. What is she doing? But do whatever you need to do to make it work. Rudy, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Do what you need to do. If you've got whatever technology you've, and focus on connection, focus on building an audience. But I can tell you, it's one thing I learned. Don't be afraid. Don't rush into things, but don't be afraid to kind of stand up and say, you know what? We're going to go forward, and this is what we're going to do, and I need to have an accurate price breakdown. And I wasn't even going to do anything. And I thought, let me look at this again. Sometimes we need to walk away from things and relook at things again. And there's nothing wrong with that. It really isn't wrong with that. I'm glad we walked away after we left the store. After we left the Spectrum store. I'm glad we walked away for a little bit. And then we came back at it again and we re-looked at it again. And I didn't pay my Cricut bill. I had until the 15th to pay it, and I thought, I'm going to put this off till we make a decision. So sometimes it's best to, when you're going through and you're not sure of something, walk away a little bit. Maybe get some other opinions. And I think I did right by getting, several different opinions to make sure that what pricing they were telling me was accurate. So far, so good. I guess we're not gonna, oh, that was deer. Piece of grass? Can't tell. No, I guess we're not gonna have any deer out. I thought maybe. Sometimes they've come out. Sometimes the mama and the babies come out of that place. Sometimes not. But I guess not tonight. The minute I turn this off, they're going to come out. So thank you all for your support of this channel. Let's just continue to grow it. I loved seeing all the people in the chat tonight. Thank you for just showing up. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. My mom appreciates it. I'm so thankful I can show up for you guys too. And you know what? Tell your story. You got a story to tell? Tell it. So I'm going to go inside. I'm going to get ready for bed. And I think this girl is probably going to hit the sack early tonight. But thank you so much for testing this out. And so far, I don't know about you, but I'm a fan. I'm loving this. Oh, I'm loving it. I'm thankful that our bill was able to stay pretty much the same. I am so thankful and so grateful that, pretty much the bill is going to stay the same. And we've been out here now for an hour. I started 100%. I'm down to 76%. I'd have been down to 20% with my phone. I don't think we would have stayed on this long. So God is good, isn't he? All right, y'all. We'll talk to you later. Remember to be proud of being yourself. Everyone else is taken. Keep crocheting that connection. No crochet hook is required. And We got you covered. Thank you so much for giving, or we have you covered. Thank you so much for having us covered, and we'll see you on the next one. If we go take Mocha to the place tomorrow with the sniff spot, we'll take you along with us, and we'll see about the Blueberry Festival too. But unfortunately, the balloon ride is not going to happen, but I hope you join me on Kendra's live sometime on Saturday. I will certainly put it in the community tab. Love you all. Have a great night or day. And remember, keep crocheting that connection. Love you all.